everybody.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Welcome back to another week.
Soaps and Sass, episode 12.
Yes.
I just gotta say, I really like our intro. It just sets the mood, man. That just got me moving my body. I ain't quite ready. But okay, Soaps and Sass, episode 12. I am your host, Mama Sass.
And I am Baby Sass. A very quick note before we start.
Okay.
Just due to things, there will be no episode next week.
Right. Life is lifing.
Right. So, yes, so episode 13 will not be airing next week. It'll air the week after, so pretty much in April. And it will combine the missing week as well as the new week. So that week as well as the missing week.
So March 24th right through to, I guess,
April 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So March 24th to April 4th will be one episode. Yeah. So it won't be twice as long as normal episodes. It'll still be the same amount of time, just
we'll
lot
just
more.
Talk faster.
Yeah, we'll just talk about a little bit more because it'll be too.
Because we don't talk fast enough already.
It's the Caribbean. I realize that now. You and your sister always look at me and my sister when we talking, and you're like, y'all talk so fast, and it's because it's the Caribbean.
Sure.
Have you Caribbeans talk fast?
Sure.
We just talk fast in English.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Not that Caribbeans don't speak English, but you know. Anyway, so yes, let's get to it.
Okay. Recap. Beyond the Gates.
We'll be very short because it was only 3 episodes.
There were only 3 episodes, Monday to Wednesday, because what? March Madness! Beep, 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 beep! Sorry. Okay.
You're not my uncle.
I like sports, and I didn't watch March Madness, so I don't even know why I'm getting excited. But Beyond the Gates, also not excited, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. This week, we had Danny, who, as you may recall, had broken into Bill and Haley's house the week before. So she calls Pamela, her best friend, to help her hide the evidence that she did so. When Haley and Bill get back from their honeymoon, Haley susses it out immediately.
I will say one thing, though.
No.
Well, fine. You always know what I'm going to say. You're like, heck no.
Haley catches immediately somebody has been in her house. She goes straight to Danny, puts her on blast and on notice. Little sweet Haley that we've been seeing all along has some fangs. But, I mean, I guess it's hardly surprising because she came up in the system, so was wondering where this person was. Here she is. She's not having it. Andre tells Nicole that he is concerned about Danny after finding Danny passed out drunk at her place after she went home from her escapade over at Bill and Haley's.
Yep.
Andre, also, in a different scene this week, carries his nasty, stalking self a little bit too far and nearly kisses Ashley. And who actually shut that down quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I don't know how long that's going to stay shut down.
I don't either, but that's the nature of a soap opera. Bill meets with Tomas and Mike over at his place.
Oh, how we love Tomas.
I do like Tomas, very much so. And while he is very respectful of Bill and Haley and their home and so on, Mike, I don't even know if I want to call it with his privileged self. I don't know what I want to call it. But Mike comes in, makes some very shady remarks about Haley's body, and Bill is not amused.
Not only does he make inappropriate remarks about Haley's body, he makes inappropriate comments to Tomas about his date with Kat.
Yes.
And Bill is also kind of like, hey, no, I might not be her uncle anymore, but that's still my niece. Don't.
Agreed. And Mike also made remarks about, don't rush back to the office, Bill. We know you're still on your honeymoon, and we know what you'll be doing between meetings.
Just already, like, I know we're not fully going into discussion, but already when he popped up in like the first week, I think it was, I was like, you give me the ick. I don't think he had fully like said anything yet, but maybe he did. But I was just like, you give me the ick, sir. You're
Agreed.
Problematic, and I don't know what it is you've done yet.
And we didn't comment on it because we weren't sure that he was going to stick around either. We didn't know if he was a background character yet or anything. But yeah, okay. We're going to see Mike a little bit. We will. And I'm going to come back to that very momentarily. Haley left the house. She goes to the club for breakfast. And it turns out eggs are not the only thing that's expensive in the U.S. because Haley and Bill wrote a check in this town that their behinds can't cash, and Haley can't get any service in the club. I was thinking about this, and I'm like, but do y'all not want to get paid? Like, why are you guys backing the Duprees? But then I realized, well, the Duprees kind of own the club, so you know what side your bread is buttered on. You know that Haley messed up. So, yeah, Haley can't catch a break. She can't catch anybody's attention. She goes home hungry. Some of Bill's former employees, we discover, meet with Naomi at Orpheus, the diner. And basically what happens is they want to file a sexual harassment suit against Bill's firm because Mike, who's a partner in the firm, as we just said, is beyond sleazy. We're going to come back to that. And at the Martin and Smitty home, something is up with Tyrell. Something happened at school he don't want to say. Smitty picked up on it, and pretty much as soon as they came through the door, Martin's like, it's just boys being boys. He's a teenager. He's going to be moody. And Smitty's like, nuh-uh, not my son.
I feel like I am the Martin in the whole Martin Smitty picking up on things situation because you always call things out. Granted, you've been watching soap operas longer than I have. And I'm like, nah. And then not 2 seconds later, what did I tell you? I am the Martin in that Martin Smitty picking things up with the Tyrell situation.
Well, yes and no. Because when it comes to predicting things long term, like I can see what's gonna immediately pop off, and you're like, oh no, 6 weeks from now, da 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 da. So, you know, give yourself some credit. Credit where credit is due. So we're waiting to see what's up with Tyrell. Leslie, I need to take a breath. Leslie tells Eva to convince the Richardsons, so Ted and Nicole, to have an anniversary party because their anniversary is coming up. And as we know, last week, Leslie's plans did not quite play out the way she had hoped, thanks to Eva's sabotage.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny because she thinks Ted's the one who sabotaged her.
Yeah, you know.
She's such in her little world that she thinks Ted doesn't even think that her daughter's playing against her.
I'm telling you.
It's like, woman, you playing chess. Sorry, no, you playing checkers, but your daughter's playing chess.
We will see, because I feel sorry for Eva when Leslie figures it out. But, you know, and Eva was like, I don't know if this is a good idea, and how do you expect me to do this? But Eva does actually come up with, or walks into an opportunity where she can do exactly that, and she plants the seed for an anniversary party, which I believe they're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because Ted likes a party. Sure. Ted likes a party.
Wants the attention to be all on him.
And the other thing that happened, which I don't know if I care where this is going, but we forgot to mention a new character last week, which is Malone. I can't remember what his first name is.
Meh.
But anyway, Malone is a super duper hero, legendary cop on the force. Jacob had asked his dad to get paired with him, so they did get paired. They're out on a stakeout. Yes. Right after Jacob was...
I don't think Jacob asked his dad to do it. I think he got paired, like his dad paired them, and he's like, I didn't expect that, but you know.
No, he had asked him. When Jacob was talking to his dad at the diner after not arresting Danny, it was one of the things he mentioned, and his dad was like, "You sure?" But Jacob didn't expect it to pan out because Malone is so legendary, and I guess Jacob's a new detective. But they get paired again. You know, like with Mike, there's something off with Malone.
Yeah,
something is very off. It's, to me, and that's the end of my recap, by the way. But to me, it seems like Malone is actually not, almost the end of my recap. So let me just finish that then. So they go on a stakeout, Jacob and Malone. While they're staking out, they see Joey Armstrong meeting with somebody, paying or giving him an envelope that they assume is filled with cash.
Which it is, from what we see.
Jacob is super gung-ho. Is like, let's go get him. But on what grounds? Malone holds him up and is like, slow your roll, cowboy.
There's nothing illegal with giving someone money in an envelope.
Right? But, so that's where that ends. But notwithstanding, something seems very skeevy with Malone.
Yeah.
And, you know, Malone's talking about he just wants to get to retirement. That part I believe.
Yeah.
He just wants to retire. But I don't know. I think we're going to find out he's a dirty cop in some way, shape, or form.
That would be interesting.
So, yeah. End of that.
Right.
So, anything you want to jump into specifically? I know you were jumping in when I was talking about, was it Mike? No, it was before that.
No, it was about Bill and Haley. But
You want to hold that? Because
no, that's gonna go into what had me hot. But I will still talk about them getting home because like the second.
Well, then why don't we just go to comedy moment of the week? No, because it was comedy. Yeah. So so the comedy moment of this week, at least for me, I'm assuming it's the same for you. Because really, no.
Okay,
I don't think so.
Okay, well, the comedy moment for me. Actually, no, the comedy moment for me wasn't actually Bill and Haley getting home.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it anyway since we've mentioned it 7 times.
Right, so Bill and Haley get home, and Bill immediately is like, I thought I turned the alarm on. But, whatever. Totally just dismisses it. Even Haley's kind of like, maybe he didn't. It's not that big a deal. Haley proceeds to walk into the living room, and immediately... Like, literally, she walks in 2 seconds later, she's letting out a scream. Yeah. Like someone just attacked her. Not even giving it, like, a good, 30 seconds or whatever. It's literally 2 seconds she walks into this room. And Bill rushes in, and he's like, baby, what's wrong? And she's like, I could have sworn this photo of us was over there, but now it was on the mantle. And when I went to look closer, I found this deep scratch. And I'm like, woman, like, first of all, if I walk into, Mom says a woman knows. You walk into your house, you know something's off. Which, I'll find it fair.
It's absolutely true because you know when I've been in your bedroom. You're like, Mama, were you in my room for... No. Nearly every time you're like, why were you in my room?
That's usually when I'm asleep. Not when I'm awake.
No, if I go in your room and move something, you know. But anyway, go on. Say what you're saying.
Anyway, so for me, it was just like... Woman, you literally just walked into this room and immediately picked up on the fact that the photo was over there and not there. And it's like I wouldn't have blinked. I would have literally just thought it's like, oh, maybe I moved it there before we left. But apparently she didn't. She is very aware that in maybe the 2 weeks that she was in Italy, I know it wasn't 2 weeks. It was a few days. I'm just saying.
4 hours.
I'm just saying. It's like she knew that she did not put this thing where it was. Right. And I'm like, okay, fine. And so then Bill's like, well, whatever, we'll just get a new photo. But then again, it's like there's no way this photo could have a deep scratch like that unless the glass was broken, but the glass is perfectly fine. And they think, they're going insane. But then, it's okay, it's fine, we'll just have a drink. And so Bill picks up the bottle of wine that Danny had, the replacement bottle that Danny had opened. And first of all, the previous bottle had this ribbon on it, and the ribbon was set in a certain way. I don't know what Pamela did to the second ribbon, but you could tell that it was not the same ribbon in the same position. So, I don't know what was going on. But anyway.
But it's not the ribbon that they caught?
No, it wasn't the ribbon that they caught. They looked at the bottle, especially Haley, and she's like, Bill, wait. Something's off, because look, there's no inscription. We have this thing inscripted. And he's like, you're right. And then then Haley's like, the alarm wasn't on. There's a deep scratch in the photo. And there's no inscription on this bottle. Someone's been in our house. And I bet to you it was Danny.
I was waiting for her to say it was Colonel Mustard in the lounge with the dagger.
Oh my God, for real. For real.
Ridiculous.
So anyway, as Mom said.
Yeah, no. Listen, as you get older, when you have your own home, you will know something's out of place. Like when your kids come home, when they're living in their own space and they come home and you're out shopping, you'd be like, somebody's been in my home. You'll know.
Anyway. So, as Mom said, Haley proceeds to go over to Danny's house, mash up her things, give her a warning, and then leave. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, first of all, you have no proof. Honestly, I'm like,
you have a camera in the entrance.
Yeah, I'm like, you do have a camera, so unless somehow they manage to delete that footage of Danny coming in, you technically don't have proof.
Maybe that ended up on the cutting room floor. Maybe they had it in whatever, but...
Right? I'm just like, you coming in, destroying property? I'm like, technically Danny can have you arrested for destruction of property. Technically.
Good luck.
Right? I'm just saying.
Absolutely. But since you're talking about Bill and Haley, I'm just going to jump in with... There was a part of that story that had me hot this week.
Mm-hmm.
On their way home from the airport back to Fairmont Crest... They're stuck in traffic on the freeway.
Yep.
Now, you're on your honeymoon.
Yep.
Find something to occupy your time, which admittedly they did, but I guess it wasn't very long. Because
We heard this on a podcast that sex takes about 5-10 minutes, 13 minutes at most. So really,
I don't know. I can't comment on that.
I was gonna make another comment. I'm like, you would have given me a look. I would have. We can't talk about that on the podcast.
But in any case, it did not. Bill is clearly not keeping Haley's attention because she's fretting about how long they're sitting in traffic and not moving. So Bill makes a phone call to the local police force, who apparently send a helicopter to meet them at the next exit, and they helicopter back to Fairmont Crest. I mean, tax dollars at work.
Police escort. I don't think they got on the helicopter.
What was the other reason for having a helicopter come out?
I don't know.
Because it can't just fly over traffic and be like, move. They're not going to move.
I don't know. I don't know.
What are you doing? Well, the police chief owes me a favor. So you're going to use a police helicopter.
Right. I'm like, you're a lawyer. You know there's so many other ways to use that favor. But you choose to use it to impress your new bride and get her home after your honeymoon?
Can't even.
Nope.
Can't even.
Nope. Because I can tell you what, the next time you're in traffic, you can't call in that favor.
Good luck to you. Just nonsense. Make it make sense. Which was the other part I might have put it. What had you hot this week?
That.
Oh, all right. Cool.
But as well as the fact that, and this also ties into what did you do that for, but Derek, because the man literally just got released from the hospital from a concussion. Mm-hmm. And man does the sweetest thing for his woman. He makes her his famous lasagna, which is all nice. And then he gets a phone call. Or he hears on the radio, I don't know. But he hears that there's a fire. And rather than, staying his white behind put at his girlfriend's house.
I do take exception to that qualification.
Rather than staying back at his girlfriend's house to heal from his concussion, he's like, I'll be right back, babe. I'm going to go help my guys put out a fire. Sir, I'm pretty sure when you get a concussion as a firefighter, you have a certain amount of days off because they want to make sure that you don't have any issues to keep you from doing that job.
I mean, he was hospitalized. I got a concussion last year. I was not allowed to work. I was off for a week. I know we're gonna.
No, it wasn't that. I was just like, I have a video for you.
Oh, all right. Okay. I like a good video.
I don't know how you feel about this one, but anyway.
All right, well, let's come back to our sheep and our cows, and yeah. So that was your thing. Why did he go back to work rather than stay home and recover?
Right, because I'm like, I've had a concussion when I was in school. Mm-hmm. Granted,
we like to bash our heads.
Oh my god! Apparently, I say apparently, but like, I recognize school and work are two different things. Well, I wasn't getting paid to go to school.
That's not why I was shaking my head.
Oh, but yeah, it's like I was 12 when I had my concussion. Mm-hmm. I didn't and we didn't pick up on it right away.
That's why I was shaking my head. Because that concussion was bad.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, I had a concussion. And honestly, I got a concussion from one, just doing an activity, but it was an activity
that fell on your head. Right,
doing an activity. Oh but in fairness, I'm like, I don't know why this activity was even there, because it was, even I looked at that thing and said, that's not, which has left me with trauma. But anyway, so I got a concussion when I was 12. We didn't pick up on it right away until, I think
3 or 4 days later.
Right, and I can't remember if the school called or if I said, I cannot concentrate, I'm falling asleep in class, I don't know what was going on. But somehow my dad was informed of this and went to the clinic. They're like, she has a mild concussion. I don't know why she's still going to school. So I took a week off of school and just chilled at home. I was happy to be home.
Of course.
As a child would be. It's a whole week off of school? Sweet. But I'm like, this man has a concussion. I'm pretty sure he's going to get paid time off because he got hurt on the job. Mm. So I get it. This is your passion. This is what you love to do. And I totally understand that. But you can't do your passion and what you love to do if you end up dead.
Well, and that may be what happened. Not that he ends up dead, but, because
no, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, and ends up back in the hospital, which leaves plenty of room for Andre to slick in.
Which also left, as adds to my frustration and what you that for, because then Ashley calls her mom over for lasagna, which is totally understandable. It's like your boyfriend just ditched you. But then she pulls out this image. She pulls out the photo frame that Andre gave her. It's like, here, take this, Mom. I don't want it. And
the collage that she had hidden away so Derek wouldn't see it.
Right? Yeah. Uh-huh. Pretty much says, take this, I don't want it. And then next thing you know, she's sitting on the couch while her mom's doing dishes, and she's staring off at that photo. And it's like, ma'am, are you debating whether or not to break up with Derek? Like,
if she breaks up with Derek over this, that'd be a little ridiculous. But you gotta move the story along. It's not believable, but okay.
It is not. Though I am glad they stopped with the partner in crime and the baby in the elevator talk, because that was getting annoying. It's like, I get it. You literally, your first week on the job and you deliver a baby in an elevator. You don't need to keep talking about it.
No, but this could be what we call it in my area of work, a contributing factor why Andre thought he could try to kiss her, because she keeps calling him partner. Well, if they're partners,
feeding into the delusion.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Okay. You want to talk about your comedy moment for the week?
Yes. Comedy moment of the week. Aside from Haley totally getting shut out by the staff at the country club.
I felt so badly for her.
I did feel badly, and the thing about that is she walked in and she just stood at the door, just kind of waiting for someone to, be like, oh, welcome, let me, whatever. But then there's two people at a table, and she proceeds to get their attention, and the guy, he looks over, and it's very obvious he sees her, and she's like, excuse me, and he totally ignores her, and then she's like, okay, then, and proceeds to sit down. And throughout this entire scene, which again, I'll get to my comedy moment of the week, this is not fully it, is she's like, hello, excuse me. Sometimes she's saying it quietly, which is kind of like, woman, speak up. You have a voice. Use it. Use that bravado that you were using with Danny the other night. And then finally she's like, excuse me. People just walking past her like she's invisible, like, But comedy moment of the week for me, of these 3 days, the Dupree family are sitting at their usual table in the country club. Kat is like, if you'll excuse me, I have a date, because Tomas has shown up after that very uncomfortable conversation with Bill and Mike. And so she gets up with her little smiley smiles, and she goes over, flirty with Tomas. And Vernon says, okay, let's not all look at the same time. And then everyone proceeds to turn and look at Kat and Tomas all at the same time. Just bull-facing, just staring right at them. Like the first episode, everybody's eyes were on Haley and Danny. Everybody's eyes in the Dupree family were on Kat and Tomas. And I said, oh, Lord. I said, if this was me, I would have grabbed his hand and left. I wouldn't. Nope. Nope.
Well, all right. I hear that. I don't know if it's a comedy moment. Well, actually, no. Sorry. I will stay focused. My comedy moment of the week, and I sense you're going to correct me here, was when Naomi was at Orphe's with the three ladies who wanted to file the suit, and she said something to them like, well, how did you all find out about each other, or how did you all meet? And the response was, we're all good, friendships are formed. And Naomi's like, oh, crying in the ladies' room?
Yeah, that's basically what she said.
It was like, that's so true. That is so true. You make a friend, like you see another sister crying in the washroom. It's like, hey, what happened? Blah, blah, blah. And yes, friendships are formed that way. It's odd, but it just made me laugh because it's so real. That is a true statement.
Uh-huh. Which is interesting because, again, Mike and his sleaziness. But I find it interesting because they were saying it's like the three ladies were like, we've all gone to different firms, and all of them don't want to, or they know of Bill Hamilton and his tactics, and they don't want to deal with this lawsuit. So you, Naomi, as what's her face? Princess Leia done said to Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are my only hope. So that's what the lady said to Naomi. You are my only hope. And so they want her to sue her dad.
Yeah.
I don't know
how I feel about that.
I I think it's interesting because when Naomi wants to, she's like, I already have like a bunch of different arguments popping up in my head. I know strategies.
But that came after.
Right.
That came after.
But you were saying how you didn't like that because it's like they just that Naomi wasn't their first choice. They only went because her relationship is now deteriorated with her dad. But also, it's like, you're a lawyer. He's your dad, who's also a lawyer. If anyone's going to go up against him and knows him, is you.
Well, and that's what the lady said. I mean, that they actually, I did appreciate that because the writers did include that. It's like, what? So you don't actually want me because I'm a lawyer. You want me because of my relationship to my father.
And they said yes and no.
And exactly as you just said. So.
It's like, we want you because of your name, but also not because of your name.
Right. So you're going to know things that other lawyers won't possibly know. But again, they didn't go to her first, so...
Right.
We'll see how it plays out.
But also...
I think it'll be interesting.
But it's also interesting because one of them gave a little tidbit that was, again, interesting, that she was up for a paralegal job promotion. Yes. And because she did not give in to Mike's advances, yes. Haley got it.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
So that was an interesting tidbit.
Right. And I thank you for bringing that up because it made me think at the time, well, what did Haley do to get the promotion? Did, the same way Mike was suggesting to this particular girl go on a date with me, did Haley have to go on a date with Mike and did she do it? And right. Especially what with Mike feeling so free as to, comment on her body and what have you. So...
Right.
We'll see how that plays out.
And also it's interesting, it's like Mike was Bill's best man. So, and the ladies were saying, it's like, well, does Bill know about this? And like, we don't know what he does and what he doesn't know. But what we do know is that he's not doing anything to stop it. Because it's like, because based off the interaction we saw before when they were at Mike was at Bill's house, it's like he's making all these comments and Bill is like, "Whoa," but he doesn't really put his foot down. He's just like, "That's my wife. Respect my wife." And he's like, and Mike's like, "Yo, no, I meant no harm," but then proceeds to do it again when it comes to Tomas and Kat. It's like, "Come on, dude, tell us the details. Like, what was she like in bed and stuff like that?" It's like, and Bill's still like, "Whoa, that's my niece," but it's not like, Mike, enough. This is not appropriate. This is not... I don't want to hear that talk here. I don't want to hear that at the office. Like, because this is not... Because he, like I said, he even did something to that effect at the office when they were having, like, the little engagement party before they got married. And it was still like, sir.
Yeah, it's a little offside comments that are just like... How do I take it? Is this a sign of something bigger? Is he just being stupid?
Which is exactly what the lady said when they first met. He's like, first it was like these little comments that is like, you're kind of second guessing because you're like, no, it was probably an accident. He probably didn't mean it like that. But then it got worse and it's like, yeah, sometimes, like, I understand the second guessing because like you don't always know and you don't want to say anything at first because you're not sure and you don't want to cause any unnecessary trouble.
But that's just how we do in society, right? It's like, I don't want to rock the boat,
right?
I don't want to assume their motives, but and I don't want this to turn into a preachy podcast, but I do think it does need to be said that sometimes it's just letting people know where you stand. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you might be making a joke, but I don't care for those kind of jokes, or I'm not the one, carry that foolishness with somebody else.
Yep.
And I hopefully doesn't need to go beyond that, but we understand microaggressions and.
Yep, because
yeah,
I remember I was having a conversation with someone, and the person had said something that I was really not comfortable with, and so I said, like, "Hey, that made me very uncomfortable. I don't know if I don't think you intended for me to be uncomfortable, but it did, and I'd like it if you never said that again." And they're like, "Yeah, that wasn't my intention. I did not mean," and I was like, "No worries, just, be mindful." And he's like, "All right."
Demir?
No.
Sorry.
Just mindful. Just mindful.
All right. Before we run out of time, because we do want to get to General Hospital, villain of the week?
As usual, Leslie. But that's just... she didn't really do much this week.
Which is why I'm just looking at you like, really? Do you have anything to back that up for this week? Or you just want to... because she's a villain, we're just going to keep her on the list?
Right? No, actually, in this case, I'll say Eva, just because she was just being, like, petty towards Kat. I get Kat also I say kind of, she did antagonize her when she's like, you're in my seat. Like...
I thought you were on a date!
Exactly. You were sitting with your man, who isn't technically your man yet, and you was chatting it up. So why you come back over here, getting up in my grill because I'm sitting in your seat next to your mama with your family? Doesn't make no sense. So Eva, I get, is a little wrong for being flirty with Tomas. And Tomas, I don't know if you're being nice or if you were also kind of leaning into it, but I'm also like, sir, this ain't looking good. I get he didn't know Kat was behind him eavesdropping, but I'm just like, sir, please shut it down. Can you shut this down? It's like...
It's what you do when you think nobody's watching. That matters.
Still, I'm just like, you say you like Kat? Ooh, Tomas, don't let me down.
All right. I have a list, but I don't really have anything to back it up. Mike, for obvious reasons, he's sleazy.
Yeah.
You know, completely disrespectful towards Haley with her husband. Like, I just don't know who would do that. Nobody I know would do that. Malone made the list because I just think he's a dirty cop. And just the way he's been talking to Jacob, like, who is you? And Andre, because really, why are you trying to kiss the girl? You know she's involved. Just stop.
Right? I'm like, last time I checked, Sebastian was not on your shoulder trying to tell you to kiss the girl.
Oh my gosh.
You set it up.
Hero of the week?
No.
Okay, again, I have a list. Just because I like some of the things they did. Tomas, for immediately recognizing that Haley's position has changed.
I thought of that.
So where he might have called her Haley in the office, it's now Mrs. Hamilton. She's married to my boss.
Amen.
I'm in her home. Like, let me not even play. Haley, for immediately recognizing something was off in her home and putting Danny on notice, just like, no. And Smitty for being aware of what's happening with his children. I think as a parent, that is always a good thing. Like, even if you mind your business, be aware. They're not going to tell us everything, but yeah.
I find it interesting because it also just shows, like the relationship between Smitty and the kids, between Martin and the kids. It just shows that Smitty has that more solid relationship with his kids compared to Martin. Because he's been home.
I don't know if I like that characterization. I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying.
Okay. It's just because, like, Smitty's been home raising these two kids. You've been off campaigning, doing what you're doing.
Right. And so what I think it's highlighting is really the, if this were what we would consider a traditional relationship. And this is like a 1950s traditional, because I don't think it's really applicable in today's world.
Nope.
But you have the parent, let's say, who's out working, which was typically the father.
Yeah.
And then you had the stay-at-home mom, which is not necessarily the dynamic today. You may have both parents working, but it tends to be the mother who's more involved with the children. Yes. Or so the mother type role. And so I think even today, in most cases, the mother would pick it up much sooner than the father. Mm-hmm. You know, and I guess that's just, I guess I would go so far as to say that's certainly in the world that I grew up in my world, because you have, like, parent-teacher interviews, right? Like, it's very rare that you would see a father at those. It's typically the mother finding out what's happening with the child in school. The doctor's appointments, well, I'm too busy to go to the hospital or to the doctor, so you go. That sort of thing. So... So yeah, I'm just gonna shout out Smitty for just being aware of what's happening with his children. Yep. And that's not to say that there are not dads who are not equally aware, because there are, and I also know some of those. There are also men in my circle of influence that are very aware of what's happening with their children. So. All right. Anything else for Beyond the Gates? All right. Let me scroll down a little, and we'll jump right into General Hospital. Unless you want to take a break.
Nah.
All right. Sounds good. So, General Hospital, this was on every day this week. Hooray, hooray. And here's the recap. First and foremost, everybody sees Valentine in town this week. It seems like Valentine, for a super spy, you didn't hide very well. You get Ketch at Sonny's place, where Sonny's like, give me a reason not to shoot you. And Valentine says, oh, by the way, I have a lead on the hitman, or I have a lead on the person that blew up your house. And Sonny's like, oh, really? And he says, well, I don't know exactly who it is, but I know that there's a hitman gunning for you, which is something that Sonny did not know. So that was good. Laura and Lulu saw Valentine. Laura caught Valentine trying to break into her home because he just wanted to take a peek at Charlotte. And Laura's like, Charlotte ain't here? She was. But in any case, she let Valentine in. They're having a conversation. Laura implores Valentine to turn himself in. He says, I can't do that. I'm going to get killed. Laura says, but I'm the mayor. I will help you. He said, can't help. And then Lulu walks in. They have a conversation where, Lulu does take a moment to thank Valentine for sending Charlotte home. And then Valentine leaves from there and poisons Carly by accident. And I shouldn't even laugh.
I love that you say he leaves from there and then poisoned Carly. I'm like, Mom, he poisoned Carly first before he went to Sonny's.
Okay, fine. Fair. This is not in chronological order then.
Yes, at least say that.
Let's say that. But you're right. He did poison Carly first, but it's still by accident, which was really the point of my statement. He was trying to poison Jack, did not realize that Carly was in the room. When he realizes what he's done,
Which is so interesting because, no, he looked after the door closed, so he didn't see her.
No, he did not.
This is where you hold a mirror.
Oh, boy.
And peek around the corner.
Stop it. But I'm just going to say, because this is not my comedy moment of the week, but I did get tickled when he realizes that he has poisoned Carly. He gets the honest look on his face, and I don't know if that was scripted, and it was just like, well, that happened.
Basically.
Bye. And off he goes.
Basically.
So Valentine poisons Carly. Jack goes after Valentine once he's gotten Carly to the hospital and gotten some care for her, and she's recovering. And they meet on the dock, and Valentine discovers that Jack is a goner for Carly. Jack is not having it. Valentine is tickled.
Valentine's like, you hypocrite.
Despite the dire situation he finds himself in, Jason comes up on the scene to make sure that Jack finishes the job.
Nope. It's like, surprise, surprise. Doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. Anna shows up on the scene, intervenes. They cart Valentine away. Jason tells Jack, listen, I know this is mainly on Valentine, but don't think that I'm not aware that you have something to do with it. So you might be a goner for Carly, but you might be a goner in other ways when I get done with you. Jason goes to the police station, meets with Valentine. Valentine's like, oh, you're gonna break me out of here? She's like, oh, must be mad. But Valentine gives Jason all the poop and the scoop on Jack. And
he said, I got tea and it's not the herbal kind.
Jack. Sorry, not Jack. Jason goes over to the hospital. And again, it's not in any kind of chronological order because everything's happened in between. But Jason goes over to the hospital and Carly takes one look at his face and she's like, oh, shoot. And Jason's like, you and Jack are done. D-O-N. Valentine then gets a visit from Alexis. He called for Alexis. And Alexis is like, I can't get you out of this. And he's like, no. I need a favor. So tune in next week to find out what that favor is, because we don't know. In other news, after Trina's surprise party, Trina had left out of there after that gift from Emma, which was the same book that Spencer had given her. Kai went over to the house to tell her a couple things. She lets him in, and then he gets the backstory on Spence and Esme. And he's like, thank you for sharing that with me. And they share a kiss. Tracy Quartermain, who just so malicious in people business. Tracy has Martin arrested for back alimony. This, you know what? I might put that in to make it make sense, because the man just sold the house. How is he supposed to declare that to be able to pay off his wives? I don't know. That was a little bit twisted for me. I thought that was a stretch, but Be it as it may, he gets arrested by federal officers and carted off to California. She then toddles over to Drew's house to gloat. Willow shows up, which is really largely irrelevant.
But it was just her timing.
But yeah, it was just her timing.
It was like, because Drew had made a comment about, like, excuse me, moving, like, Lila and the rest of them, and it was a very rude comment.
Was rude, yeah.
And
it's like
unfortunately,
like nobody cares about a bag of bones or I don't know, some stupidness.
And unfortunately, Willow opened the door after he made the comment.
He did.
Not before, because, like, the way the camera angle was, you can see when the door opened.
Yeah.
And I was and then it had to her standing there already, and we're like, oh, good, you heard that. Backed it up. She did not hear it.
She did not hear it.
And I was really hoping she would have heard that.
Would have been nice.
Because I don't think Willow, because even like when, sorry, we're still in the recap, but again, even though Carly was there and had the conversation and said, you know how I felt when they were trying to move Virginia, and I was not having it, it's like, I feel like Willow would also be like, but come on, it's like, it's their final resting place. Like, even, like, I understand it's encroaching on public land, but it's still their final resting place. Like, that's just cruel on levels.
It is. But notwithstanding, so Tracy and Willow exchange a couple of words, and Willow confirms that she is going to move in with Drew, despite what we saw earlier was Nina offering to buy Willow a house for her and the kids.
Which her explanation made very much sense.
Yeah, we thought Willow was going to go for it. Well, we didn't really think Willow was going to go for it. we hoped Willow was going to go for it. She didn't. But that's okay. We also had the presentation ceremony for the pediatrics, whatever they're doing for pediatrics over at GH. Portia apparently got through it well enough. No, she wasn't really smiley, but she got through it. And Curtis had a chance to warn Kai about Drew, so that was good.
Everybody's trying to lead this poor boy into politics.
I don't see why. But anyway. We also had a little bit more on the story between Lucas and Marco. So we think that Marco is the hitman that Valentine mentioned.
That, or he's going to show up in court and be the prosecutor. That's my guess. That's my assumption. It's one of those two.
Oh, okay.
Being a lawyer might be his day job, actually. So maybe it'd be both.
Maybe. So a little bit of silliness there because, anyway, long story short, Lucas and Marco did not get together in that way.
They did not.
But
thank God.
Oh, let me rephrase that because I don't want to offend people by saying anything so crass. Unfortunately, Lucas was unwell, and he was unwell all over both himself and Marco.
Called it.
So that happened. We had a quick peek on Joss in training. Nothing really to report there, but we did see her. And big news this week. Brooklyn told Chase that Dante is
the pappy.
What's wrong with you?
I am my mother's child.
No, you're not.
We've had this conversation many times. Don't do that.
So she filled him in, him being Chase, filled Chase in on all the goings-on with the paternity and all of this and what happened and why she made the decisions she made and so on. They have an argument about it.
I was gonna say, I'm like, we were a little stressed because so far Chase has been very understanding and very level-headed during this entire thing, and we were hoping he'd stay like that.
And he kind of did.
He kind of did for a good 30 seconds.
Yeah. No, but he did, and he, so he's angry, but he still loves his wife. As we discovered when he confronted Lulu later. Woohoo!
We will get to that.
That was some fireworks. And that's basically all the news that's fit to print for this week. Where do you want to go? Do you want to continue with Brooklyn and Chase and Tang, or you want to pick up on something else first?
No, let's leave that to later because it ties in with many of my what parts in the segment. So, but, yeah, Valentine, good luck. That's all I can give you.
Yeah, I'm hoping because it looks like that it looks like they're writing Valentine out. I'm really hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping he was just away, in the fall. Oh, actually, I don't know if they're writing him out, but I did discover that the actor recently moved to Oregon, which apparently is not close to where they're filming. And so it makes it hard for him to travel.
Maybe they'll send him off to the same prison as Nicholas. Have some family.
Oh, boy.
I know they won't. I'm just saying.
Skin and teeth at me. Oh, boy. So yeah, I think Valentine might be on his way out, which is, for me, disappointing because I really like the character. I think he's a very relatable villain. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that they don't write him out. And if he is to leave, I hope they give him a reasonable story for leaving. Because, already he was on the run with Charlotte. That was good enough. So why bring him back? But
see, and the thing I found interesting is, again, when they were arresting Valentine, the Pier of Death, Pier 55. I'm like, man could have been shot and just like Jason, kicked into the lake, and you never saw him again.
And so many things has happened on Pier 55. Why don't they have cameras? But then again, we see how effective the cameras are over at the Quartermain place, so I guess it doesn't make no sense. All right. So then, let me jump into the comedy moment of the week.
Shoot. Cody. I was like, I know I had one. Cody.
Because I know if you didn't, I did, and that was it.
Cody. So Alexis gets called. Cody calls Alexis to the police station because
he's been arrested for stealing a car.
Right. But I'm like, somebody gave him the number to call Alexis. I don't remember who. Anyway. Tracy. Tracy said, call Alexis. So she arrives at the police station. She's like, why am I here? And Molly says, because Cody got arrested for Grand Theft Auto. And Cody is trying to say something, but no one's going to let him talk. So Alexis and Molly are kind of having a discussion, being like, you need to recuse yourself, or I'm just going to file all these things, yada, yada, yada. And in the end, that doesn't work. Rick shows up and says, Alexis, why don't you just recuse yourself? And I'm like, Rick, why do you always need to get into a fight with your ex-wife? Anyway, Molly finally kind of interjects between the argument between Alexis and Rick. And it's like, hold on. Cody has been trying to say something for the last 5 or so minutes. Can we let him say what he needs to say, please? And he's like, thank you. I got arrested for trying to break into my own car.
He wasn't breaking in. They stopped him and said they'd stolen his car. But in any case, I guess it doesn't really matter. That's nitpicky details.
Yeah, but the point is...
The car belonged to him.
The car belonged to him. Is like, that was my own car. And Molly said, what? He's like, yeah, it's my car. You can check my license, the registration, everything. It's my car.
Which it turned out to be?
True. It was his car. He's like, and then this is like, well, he did pull you over because you didn't use a turn signal or whatever.
Exactly. So he wasn't breaking into it. He was in the car.
So, yeah, but why the Grand Theft Auto? I don't know. But they're like, you know what? I'll pay the ticket. And Alexis is like, no, you won't. Or something. So, and then another whole fight broke out and Cody just dragged Rick out. Molly's like, Mom, now we're having a discussion. But overall, the comedy moment was the fact that he got arrested for Grand Theft Auto of his own car. And apparently the officer didn't do whatever he needed to do, and, well...
Yeah, he mixed up the numbers on the license plate, which is how this all started.
Ah, right. So, yeah.
So I agree. I had that as the comedy moment as well. And like I said, closely followed behind by Valentine going, well, that happened.
Pretty much.
Do you want to go to What Had Me Hot? Would you do that for, or make it make sense?
I don't know if anything had me hot.
Oh, all right then. I will go.
Okay.
What had me hot was Jack refusing to allow Will to call Carly's family.
Yeah.
The woman could dead. And so it's like, is he trying to protect himself so they don't worry about where Joss actually is? Don't call Sonny. And and Jack had some, I don't know if it was a logical argument, but in any case, he had an argument. And Willow was like, fine, but she really was uneasy with it. And kudos to Willow for being uneasy with that because the woman's in the hospital. Michael's overseas, whatever. I mean, Jason's in town. He had a right to know.
I do find it interesting, though, because, like every time Jack walked into the room to have a moment with Carly, you could see Willow was just like, she was eyeing him. Yeah. Very sussly. She's like, she would give him a 1-2, like, up-down look. Like, she was very much like... I don't want to, but...
it's like, I don't want you in here. I don't think you should be in here. But, So that really irritated me. Because it's like, how you bossing around the hospital staff? Like, I don't know. I just thought that was completely out of order. Do you have a who called for that? Or you didn't have any of these categories?
Slightly in the who called for that was that one guy, the councilman from the meet from.
Oh, that was with Drew?
Yeah. He gives me the same ick that Mike does. The only difference is he's not slimy.
Really? It's the same actor. It's not.
But no, he's okay, he's slimy, but he's slimy in a different way. And it's very clear that he's gunning for, as they already said, he's gunning for Laura. And it's like, yeah, Laura, you need to be careful. But he made a comment on the Esplanade and like Laura favoring Sonny over like the environmental stuff, like whatever. But if the man was smart and knew what was going on, he'd know that Laura had nothing to do with it.
I think he might. I think he just wants Laura's job, and so he's just
fair. Discord. But it's just like,
because it did catch Drew's attention, so that's going to come back, I'm sure.
Right, but it's like, how can you just be like, oh, Laura's favor towards Sonny is like whatever, but it's like, you guys had discussions. Laura never actually came to a decision on what to do, and you, Drew, were the one who was going to invoke eminent domain. So,
but I don't think the conversations were had in Port Charles, right? This was the senator out in Washington who decided it.
No,
and then that information got back to Drew that it was going to stay where it was. It came from the guy in Washington,
right? But I more so mean the fact that they're having conversations about the moving the Esplanade to a different location, and Laura never actually said, it's like she talked to Sonny about it and yada yada yada, but she never actually was like, you know what, I think we're like, she never sided yes Sonny should keep it or no Sonny shouldn't.
Well, which is my point. We know that. But
overall, it's just like, you are making assumptions.
Yeah, that's how politics goes, right?
Yeah, it's like Laura.
We're seeing it on our own TV, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My who called for that or what you do that for? Brad calling Stella in a panic.
Oh my God.
When did these two become friends to the extent that Brad would call Stella in the middle of, well, I was going to say the middle of the night. I think it didn't make sense why he was calling her. I know they had an initial conversation, but to call, I don't even have words because it was so off base for me. It's like, you're not talking to Britt. You're not talking, this is a grown woman.
And again,
not to say that Brad's not a grown man, but like, I don't even know what the words are. Just Brad was so off base, and I was further. It's almost what had me hot, because I was further irritated because last week Brad walked out of the room talking about, you know what, Lucas, if you're not going to take me as I am, you, the horse's mother, the horse's family, the farm, the farmer, the county in which the horse is, bye.
Basically, dishonor on you, dishonor your family, dishonor your cow.
Yes, absolutely. And now today it's like, oh my goodness, Stella, what am I going to do? Mom, Brad,
I've been saying
your insecurity showing. What is going on?
I've been saying this for months, ever since he convinced Portia to let him go to Miami. Brad is in his Delulu era too. Probably deeper than Danny.
Agreed. But I thought that he came out of it in that moment. I thought he was snapped. And no.
Me too. The other thing is,
you know what? I'm gonna put that in predictions.
The other thing I find interesting is two things. One, he was talking to Stella, and it was very clear based off what he was saying in response to what she was saying. He wasn't listening to hear, he was listening to respond.
Absolutely.
Because he did that selective hearing thing where he picked out what she was saying, what he wanted to hear and what he wanted. But also like, I lost that second thing.
But that's okay, but you're absolutely right. 100%. I agree with that.
Yeah. And it's just like, Brad.
So he's gonna do what he wanna do.
I remember. He said to her, it's like, I told Lucas the truth and he did it, and I was like, careful. You're talking to the in-law of the woman you blackmailed.
Oh, well, yeah, but he didn't spill it.
No, he didn't, but I'm just like, careful. You're asking this woman for advice, and imagine she finds out that you had blackmail on her in-law. You might lose Stella as a friend.
But, maybe.
But I do realize there was something that did have me hot.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Sorry, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to control my anger.
And language, I hope.
Yes. I don't know her middle name, but Christina Corinthos.
Can we not?
One needs some psychiatric help, and 2.
As does Portia. But anyway.
Portia doesn't need it as much as Christina. Oh my goodness. And 2, this woman does not know how to keep information to herself. I said, you are, okay, first of all, okay, so Ava went to Alexis's office, which unfortunately the timing was really off because Christina was there as well. And Ava did say, sorry to intrude, I can come back later. Mm-hmm. So she was offering to leave to not cause any issues. But both Christina and Alexis are like, later be never, so you might as well just get it out now. Anyway, the conversation heated up, and Christina responding for her mother that she should not be doing. I also need to take my own advice on that one, but Christina just responding, being like, no, you're not going to get a dime out of da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, ma'am, your mother can speak for herself. Thank you very much. You are not in control of anything. You are not a lawyer. You are just a little girl in pain. Which, again, I understand, but you need help, Christina. You need help. And Ava said to Alexis, and I really, and the look on Christina's face is kind of like, she's not wrong, but I will not admit that. Ava said, it's like, Alexis, you were not helping Christina by giving into her delusions and her anger and all of this and all of that. She needs help. And then leaves. And I agree, because it's like, Christina, I get you're angry, but and I understand that losing a child is a pain that will never go away. It'll be there, but it will be less of an ache than it was in the beginning. I can't really say, because I'm not someone who's ever lost a child, and I don't wish that upon myself or anyone in the world. And it's very unfortunate that there are women who have experienced that, women and men. But just overall to say that she says, and she said this to Lucky, is that she's trying to let go of the pain she tries every day, and that might be true, but I don't think she's trying hard enough, because she constantly brings it up. She just can't, like, I'm like, at this point, I get you have family and everything, but I think you need to leave Port Charles for a time and just like explore the world. Go on a sabbatical, like, just do something that does not involve being in Port Charles, and just, like, do something. Because staying here, just staying in the place you are, where you're reminded of the pain and seeing the person and everything and all that, is not helping you. So there's that. But back to this woman needs to keep her mouth. She's the daughter of a mafia don. I would think, especially since Christine is very fully aware, I would think she would know snitches get stitches and sleep with the fishes. So why she's going around telling people that her father has a heart condition when her father has enemies and would be glad to take him out, like, I don't know why she's going around spouting this information. And then the thing that pissed me off too is not even Sunny said, Christina, I didn't want you to know because I didn't want you to worry, but I also need you to keep this to yourself. You can't tell your mother. You can't tell your brothers.
You have to tell her to keep it to herself.
Because clearly, as we've now seen, is that Christina going to run her mouth to everybody.
Yes, I know that, but you're right.
It's funny.
You're right.
And it's funny because I'm sitting here trying to find aside from the fact that her brother was married to this woman, I'm trying to find like a biological connection to her and Lulu, so I can be like, you're just like this freaking Lulu, spouting off information you have no right knowing.
Why does there need to be a connection for her to be just like her?
It makes me feel better.
I see.
It makes it more logical in my head. But I'm like, but it's like it's like both of you clearly take after somebody.
Sure. Okay. Why don't we just sprint right along to make it make sense? Do you have anything for that? And I know I said that wrong, because what I really meant was make it make sense.
Yes, what I'd like to know, and I need Valentine to make it make sense, how the hell did you get your hands on palladium poisoning? Or palladium, I should say. How did you get...
PSP, man. Cassadine. Like,
how did you get your hands on one of the most dangerous...
We can run
radioactive...
Remember...
substances on the planet.
You remember, at least I believe you remember, when Helena was on the canvas, just before they introduced Valentine, they were saying, and I think she even said the only Cassadine she's ever been afraid of is Valentine.
No.
Hey. And then we were all like, who's this Valentine? They turned out to be kind of a pussycat, which was a little bit disappointing, but...
Those are the ones you usually got to worry about.
I guess. So, yeah. So, yeah, Valentine got Paladin poison? Sure. Okay. WSB, he's a Cassadine. They crazy. Any of these will do.
Probably got on the black market. Anyway, so that's how Carly got poisoned. She got Palladium poisoning. And it's just like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. My Mech Saints, which is also almost a what had me hot, and I think you're going to jump on this one. Anna goes off to save Valentine. It must be her that brings Valentine in because she whatever she did. It has to be her. Okay. I'm okay with that. I can get behind that. Anna gets down to the dock. Anna parks her car. Anna gets out of her car and walks around to the trunk to unlock the trunk, unlock the lockbox, take out her gun, because she knows Jack is hightailing it to the dock to kill Valentine. But Anna, clicks, click. Anna! Sense of urgency, perhaps? And then she gets the gun out of her ting and, oh shoot, there's Jason. Well, there's a shocker. You took so much flipping time taking this thing. What kind of a cop are you? I mean, listen, society might be better off if cops drove around town and had to go to their trunk to get their gun out before they went to intervene in a situation. She's a commissioner. It's not on her hip. What? It's not in an underarm holster, which we know she has because we've seen it before. What? Make sense.
And it's so interesting because she's like, she found out about Valentine, and the first scene before her, getting out her car, the doctor's getting into her car and telling Jack not to do it, and I'm like, you couldn't get your gun out before that?
At the same time, right? You'll have the phone on your shoulder as you're opening the trunk.
Which is a little difficult, seeing as how she needs her phone to unlock the car.
Yeah, what? Okay, well, you know what? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that was some kind of stupid product placement. Because the phone is the key. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, General Hospital. I was like, damn, man, that y'all budget went up. Send some of that budget to be on the gates. They need it.
And am I mistaken? Or did she reverse into the parking spot because it didn't look like she could have driven into where she parked?
Nope.
So she had time to reverse into boot, which I suppose makes sense because if you got to go in a hurry, You need to drive out. You don't have time to be reversing and all of that. So you know what? Maybe I'll let that slide. But just what?
I can't. I'm trying to. When you're trying to pat the knee to calm you down, and you're just like, I can't find it.
You can't find my knee because my knee ain't nowhere near me. Don't touch me. Just gonna set me off.
Anyway,
all right.
Let's get
villain of the week.
Well,
actually, I'm gonna flip it. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, simply enough, just Valentine, just simply because you poisoned the wrong one.
I mean,
I get you. It was one of those situations where it's like you can't really make sure it's the right one.
You can make sure, but okay.
But
then again, that's what happened to Chase. So right? Yeah. Okay. I'll grant you that. I'm gonna sprint along to Hero of the Week because I'm gonna have to flip afterwards. But
no, that's fine.
Hero of the Week for you?
Chase. Yes, Chase, because it was not as intense as I was hoping it would be, but it was still glorious. Chase went to go talk to Lulu. My man shows up at Laura's place, knocks on the door, she opens it, and she's like, oh, hi, Chase, how you doing? You come here because Dante, since Charlotte told him Dante wants you to keep an eye on us, yada, yada, yada. You could see very clearly the second that door opened, that man was not here for pleasantries. That man was not here to catch up. That man was there to take someone down a peg. You could very well tell. And he looked at that woman and said, I'm not here for your family. I'm here for mine. And she went, like she had no clue what this man was talking about. And then he walked in and he says, we haven't had time to talk since you woke up, so I'm going to rectify that right now. leave my wife the hell alone. You have been harassing her. You have been, getting up in business you have no right being up in. And it needs to stop. And she's like, I take it you know about Dante and the baby. He's like, yes, I do. And she's like, okay, in that case, you might want to keep it down because the kids are upstairs. He's like, very well then. In that case, stop. It is not your secret to tell. It's not my secret to tell. And ain't nobody telling Dante nothing. And you are going to respect that. And she gets all uppity. And he's like, no, this is done. It is enough. You will leave my wife the hell alone. This is the one and only time I'm telling you. And if you don't, I'm going to have you arrested. Since you like to be fickle with the law and have no respect for it, I'm going to arrest you on the grounds that you broke into your uncle's room and read confidential files that you had no right knowing. And I was like, but he's my uncle. Which, woman, are you stupid or are you dumb? Don't try to play no nepotism.
What, nepotism don't even apply here?
Just, either way, don't try and play it. And I'm just like, and Chase was just like, leave Brooklyn alone, or I will find something to put on you. I walks right out the door, and Lulu just kind of looks at his
retreating form.
Thank you, and just has this scowl on her face, and it's like, scowl. I was gonna say, you can scowl all you want. The man has spoken, and you will respect what he has said, or else you gonna face some charges.
Period. Now, I 100% agree with you. Chase is also my hero of the week for exactly those reasons. Unfortunately, regretfully, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna try to do it well because my heart is not in it. But I had a conversation this week with another fan of the show who said that Chase was a bully because he went in there after Lulu. So for the exact same reason we think he's a hero, this fan felt he was a bully. And I'm just like, So I'm struggling. I'm struggling with this one because from my perspective,
I feel like I'd get into a very deep conversation about this with this person.
Well, that's why I'm like, I wish, we should have like phone in or something like this, right? So
if we end up going into video podcast territory, we're going to have to be like, yeah, you're getting brought in on this one. We can blur your face if you don't want to be on it, but we're bringing you in on this one. It
doesn't even have to be video, but we can maybe find a way to conference or something. But here's the thing. For me, what the challenge is I see Lulu as the bully. Lulu, as Chase said, has been harassing Brooklyn at every turn. Anyhow she gets a chance to slam Brooklyn, she does. So for me, Lulu has been the one doing the bullying. So if Chase now comes in and confronts the bully, does that make him a bully as well? I don't know, because this fan's point of view was that Chase went too hard. He is a man. He is taller than Lulu, and so I will agree. He would, to a certain extent, he was kind of using his height to intimidate her a little bit. Like there was points where he was leaning in as he was making his point. So from that perspective, I can kind of see it. But if you see somebody being bullied and you step in to defend that person, does that make you a bully?
No. That's what I was like, you're giving this example, and I was like, I was about to say the same thing. It's like, if you're on the school playground and you see some kid picking on another kid, you're not bullying the person back, because it's not like you're coming in every day doing the exact same thing that the person did to the other. You're coming in to defend that person and be like, yo, back off. This is not okay. Enough.
Well, and that's my perspective. That's my perspective. That is not this fan's perspective. And that's why I say I'm struggling, because I don't have their full point of view. And this was a conversation we started. I don't know that we actually finished it or got into it. And so maybe after they hear the podcast drop, we'll have more conversation. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, though.
You have been called out. Be advised. You know who you are.
That all being said, though, because I have been in Lulu's position in a sense that, but I didn't think at the time, right? From my perspective, it was somebody was doing something that I did not agree with, that I thought was absolutely foolish, and I felt no way about telling them that I did not agree with what they were doing. And every time they did it, I would call them out and I was like, what are you doing that for? This should happen. And remembering it, I was a little bit aggressive in my manner towards this person. But I wasn't trying to be hurtful or harmful, like unlike Lulu, who I think is really trying to be hurtful. But notwithstanding what my intention was, the way the person received it, they would go home upset all the time. And then one day, their husband was in the environment where the situation happened, and I started again. It's like, I don't understand why you keep doing this. And the husband came after me. And it was like, listen, this is how my wife shows her love, and this is what she does, and who are you to tell her different, and mind your business, and all this kind of thing. And I mean, I was very nearly in tears, which I think is the point of this other GH fan. But the point was not amiss. The point that the husband was making was not at all wrong. And I really had to think about what I was doing, what my behavior was. And it was like, you know what? He's absolutely right. She can, just because it's not what I would do, doesn't make it wrong. She's making a different choice, and I can disagree with it all the day long. I've let her know I disagree with it. She heard me. Clearly she heard because she went and told somebody. But, yeah. So did that make the husband a bully? I don't know that I felt that. I don't think that I felt that at the time. I felt that he was harsh. And like I said, it made me cry. But then again, I don't like confrontation in that way. But I was confronting this other woman. So, you know, if I can dish it out, I'm going to have to take it at some point.
All around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like both your story and even just thinking about the episode or that scene in general, I'm just like, I really can't see how that person thinks they're being a bully. I really don't.
Well, but again, that's our perspective, right? So, yeah. I can sort of see both sides. I mean, yeah, sort of. I can see my side very clearly. I can sort of see the other side. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
So I think we're probably way over time.
Just about 15 minutes. Just about 15 minutes. But I'm going to make these last 2 points very quick, as I'm assuming we want to go on to predictions or whatever else. So the first thing is that regarding Chase and Brooklyn's conversation, when Brooklyn told him the truth, and the man was just kind of in just like shock for a second. I was very like
that was a comedy moment for me.
For real. Like Chase was really just like he was like his brain was literally taking time to process what he heard. Like
he short-circuited.
He really did.
Dante's the father?
He lagged for a second. He really lagged for a good few.
Dante's the father?
Like
Dante
right.
is the father?
Like he had to say it like 3 times for it to fully process.
Oh my gosh. That was funny.
Then when it happened, and I find it interesting because Brooklyn told him, he's processing, and then she's rambling, and she's like, it was a thing, it didn't mean anything, it was back then, we were different people, and then he blew up. Not crazy blow up, but he blew up, and I kind of leaned back in the chair like, no! Because I was like, I really didn't want him to be mad, but it's like, it's understandable that he's mad, because I'm like, it's his best friend.
For so many reasons.
And it's like, it was just like, ooh.
Yeah. And like you said, it was one thing when I thought it was some random guy.
Exactly.
But this guy's like, living in our house.
Basically. What? And I really like that by the end of the conversation, he says to Brooklyn, it's like, I am mad. Do not get me wrong. I am mad. But I understand. And I will not say anything. And it was just like, and again, it just totally just like solidifies for me that I'm like, Brooklyn and Chase are a good match. And I like how she told him, like, this is the situation going on with my mom and my grandma and me. And it's like, I feel like they're different people, and I don't want us to end up in that place where we're keeping secrets and we wonder, like, how did we get here? Like, is what, like, our relationship what we thought it was? And yeah. So she told him the truth. So I do like how they just, in the end, they're just like, meeting of the minds. They explain how they feel. And they're like, I respect that. I understand that. I really wish you weren't, like, mad at me. But I can understand why you are. And it's like, it's still, like, a really good conversation and everything for their marriage. And again, every marriage has their trials and tribulations and stuff they have to go through. And while their marriage is still new, like they haven't hit a year yet, which I think is coming up actually pretty soon. Mm-hmm. It's still like, this is one of their biggest trials to date so far. And it's just like, if y'all can get through this, I think y'all can get through anything else.
Mm. Well, I liked it because he said something that I've told you guys when you're growing up. It's like, you're going to find yourself in situations. It'll happen. But come and tell me. And, you know, I may be mad, I may be upset, whatever. I'm entitled to my feelings. But I'm your mother. My goal is to make sure you guys are safe and functional and yada, yada.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like that. What's your second thing?
The second and final thing, my heart is breaking for the relationship between Brooklyn and Lois. I knew it was coming.
Oh, man. Lois was phenomenal this weekend.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, my goodness.
The second Lulu opened her big fat mouth, I knew it was coming. Oh, yeah. Also, Chase found out Brooklyn had a son, and my heart was even breaking because he's like, that's a hell of a way to find out. Anyway, back to the point. My heart is breaking because Lois, like, she hit a point where and I questioned if she was actually acting in this point because that's how good it was. Her voice was breaking. I was ready to go in tears. How I'm still ready to go into tears. Like, my eyes are watering.
Yeah, Lois did her thing.
And she's like, I needed help. I was like, I didn't know, like, I was a parent. There's no instruction manual on how to parent. There's no instruction manual on what to do when your teenage daughter comes home and tells you you're pregnant. Tells you she's pregnant. And there's nothing to, like, there's no manual, and I didn't know how to do it. And you felt the need to confide in me, and I felt the need to confide in someone, and it was your grandmother. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't go to your father. I couldn't go to this other, just how Brooklyn and Lois's relationship is close. I think Lois and her mom's relationship is close.
I just caught that. It's like, so it's like that.
So it's like, you have your mom, she needs her. I'm like, in the end, like I've always said, it's like we all need our moms, and in this case, Lois needed hers. Mm-hmm. It's like she didn't know what to do, and Brooklyn says she understands that, but to a degree, I don't think she fully understands that. And the reason I say to a degree is because right now Brooklyn is in her and in her betrayal, which is understandable. So she can't fully see or understand, because sometimes you just want to be near her and you want to be the victim. And it's not to say that Brooklyn's a victim, but she's just like, you have broken the trust I had in you over something that was so personal to me and something that was really a hard time for me, and I trusted that this was something between us, and you never told me that you told Grandma.
I don't think that it's a victim thing. I mean, I could be wrong, and not to prolong it much more. I just think it's that she thought that her grandmother didn't know, and was like, why couldn't you just tell me that you told Grandma?
Right, there was that too. It's like,
I think that's really the thing. It's like, here I am thinking I'm keeping this big secret, and maybe I didn't need to. Maybe there would have been another person I could have spoken to.
Exactly. Like, that's the other thing too. It's like, I think would have helped, because already it's very clear Brooklyn is also close with her grandmother. Mm-hmm. Her grandma Gloria, not Tracy, obviously. So it's like that, because it's like already, so we know it's like because of that whole situation, you got closer to your mom. So I think that would have added to you getting closer with your grandma as well. It's like, like the Cerullo women, tight knit. So it's just like, my heart was breaking, and now I just want to. The feeling is still there that I want to stop Lulu. For it's like you broke up one of the. Yourself. It's like you broke up one of the best relationships ever.
Well, it's not broken. It's not broken. It's just tested, and that's how you know how strong the relationship is. They will get back to where they were. It's gonna take a minute, but
and Dante said that too. He's like, see, that's the thing with family, especially like the Cerullos and the Falconeries and stuff like that. It's like they're always there for you at the end of the day. And when you need her, she will be there. Because, like, and the thing is also interesting is, like, Brooklyn got mad. It's like, you didn't even tell, it's like, Olivia's your best friend, and you didn't even tell her. Mm-hmm. So it's just like.
But that's the thing, right? If there's one thing we know about Lois, it's like, if Lois thinks somebody needs to know something,
she'll tell them.
Right? We saw what happened with Sunny and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So it was like, to then find out that Lois had a secret for 21 years? Hi.
Right. So overall, I just found that very interesting. Mm-hmm. My heart is breaking for Lois and Brooklyn, especially Lois. And I knew based off that, like when the conversation started, I'm like, Lois is going to end up going back to Bensonhurst for a while, which she said she's going to do because they need space.
Yeah, hopefully that turns around.
Right? I'm like, don't be gone too long.
Yeah.
I didn't know who you were when you came on the canvas, but I don't want you to leave.
Yeah.
Also, especially you're the face of deception, so.
Yep. Hopefully, Rena Sofer gets an Emmy for that, a daytime Emmy, because that was a great performance.
If I could nominate and vote for her, I would.
All right, predictions, wish list.
Predictions. I think it's gonna be interesting if Joss finds out about her mom, because that's gonna be it. Yeah. So don't know if she will, but I think Joss might find out about her mom getting poisoned. Carly is gonna stand up for herself and probably defy Jason. I do think Marco's gonna turn up in that courtroom, and if he doesn't turn up in that courtroom, he's gonna be the one to try and assassinate Sonny.
Which courtroom are you talking about?
Valentine.
Oh.
I mentioned this to you last time.
Yeah, but the listeners have no idea what you're talking about, and I just didn't remember.
I'm still waiting for the whole Geo thing to come out.
That's May Sweeps.
I know.
So another month. My prediction, I'm going to jump on your prediction, but I'm going to flip it. I think Jason found out from Valentine that Joss got enlisted in the WSB.
That might be it.
That would be hot licks.
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? It's like, you need to stay away from Jack Brennan. And she's going to be like, why? Like, well, for starters, aside from the fact that you got poisoned, your daughter's been enlisted.
That would delight me no end. Although I'd be surprised that Jason didn't go and pummel Jack before going to the hospital. But
yes, it's interesting because I'm also like, I know we made the prediction that Michael would probably come back in April. Yeah. And as we're reaching April, I'm questioning that if that actually will be the case because we do get updates on what's going on with Michael, and while he is healing, it's still good. They're saying it's still, slow and steady. So I'm wondering if he'll actually show up in April.
You're wondering if they've hired the actor yet that's going to replace? Just go get the one they had. No. I know you didn't like him, but I liked him. But anyway.
He can be temporary.
Sure. But also he has dark hair where Michael's blonde, so, how's that going to work? Because, I'm sure fire's not going to change the color of your hair. But anyway.
No. But,
wait,
that...
Okay.
And then, well, I say Michael coming back because I really, really, really want this whole...
Drew Willow thing to have us come up in.
Well, there's that, but I also just want it to be over, and I want her to just clue in that Drew is not who he says he is. And I'm like, this woman is so close to figuring this out, but it's like she shows up at the wrong times. Also, what is Nina gonna do with the information that he has on Portia? Because I'm pretty sure that's what she found in his safe, and I hope she gives it to Portia and Portia destroys it.
That'd be lovely.
That way, she's like. I'm not going to do your dirty work anymore. And he's like, well, then I'll just tell the people. It's like, with what proof? And he's like, what do you mean? It's like, pretty sure this is the only copy. And she puts it in the shredder.
Oh, stop. No, she can't.
No, she's going to break.
Oh, my goodness.
But I'm also wondering, Portia, what are you looking through Drew's file for? What are you going to do with that?
That's what I want to know. My other prediction, or is it a wish list? I don't know. Probably a prediction. Marco and Brad end up hooking up. That's it. Oh my gosh, your face!
I wasn't ready for the gas pedal in my mouth. I wasn't ready for that
idea. In Hamilton.
I wasn't ready for that thought, that idea. I wasn't ready for any of that. Oh my goodness. But I'm like, would that really work though? Because while Brad doesn't know who he is, he did see him coming out of Lucas's room, and he's kind of like...
Oh, that's right, he did.
He did see that, so he's like, well, that's pointless.
Never mind.
But, yeah, because the minute he's like, I'm Brad, he's like, he might be like, were you by chance married to Lucas?
And well, if he's in Port Charles, he'll figure that out. But yeah. Okay, never mind. But it was a thought. I like the reaction you had on that. All right, so on that note.
All right, guys.
Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, thank you for tuning in to this lovely week of Soaps and Sass. Again, just a final reminder that there will be no episode next week. They will be coming the week of April 4th.
Yep.
So again, the episodes... Well,
actually, it'll be after the week of April 4th because it'll drop on the following Monday.
Right. So, so again, no episode next week, but when the next episode does drop, which will cover, again, March 24th and the week of April 4th will be in one conglomerate episode and will drop one time.
Oh, so that almost means there'll be no episode for 2 weeks.
Just about. But
because that means you won't have an episode on the 1st? Oh, no. Okay, sorry. I don't know how to read a calendar. Never mind.
I was about to say the 1st falls on the week of April 4th.
Yeah. Sorry. No, it's the way this calendar that I'm looking at is done. Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, so it'll drop on the 8th.
Yeah, so yes. So the week you get episode...
Or 7th, rather, because we drop on the Monday, right?
Yes. Okay. Or at least I try to drop it on the Monday.
Okay.
Yep. So there you have it, guys. So, thank you for tuning in.
Enjoy your week.
Yes.
Come back for a little more soap.
A hell of a lot of sass.